Hello again everyone from Tokyo, Japan, and welcome back to Two Wheels in Tokyo, where I'm coming to you today from in front of the Tokyo National Art Center, known in Japan as the Shinbijutsukan, which happens to be in a rather quiet part of the city, right next to Aoyama Park. At least it's quiet right now, because the cicadas, or semi as we call them here in Japan, haven't awakened yet. If I were to come out here next weekend, you wouldn't be able to hear my voice over the noise. So I can already hear a few of them in the distance, but they aren't bad yet. Next weekend they'll be out here at like volume set to 11. So yeah, I'm enjoying the quiet while I can. And I thought this would be a beautiful place to do a nice video about my beautiful new bicycle. And this is it. This is my new GT grade carbon, and this particular model is known as the Elite model, but don't let that fool you. This is the entry-level, basic, inexpensive grade carbon bike. I got this one because though the components are kind of on the cheap side, the frame itself is the same one which comes on the top of the line bikes. I had wanted to buy the bare frame and build the bike myself, but I couldn't buy the frame here in Japan, at least not in a timely manner, so I just bought the basic model and decided just to upgrade the bike and get rid of the cheap components and put on the better ones and make this a more suitable bike for more extreme conditions. Now, why do I need a bike suitable for more extreme conditions? That's because I'm going to be using this bike in an event called the Tour Divide, which is a 4,300 kilometer endurance cycling event, which is held in North America. It starts in Banff, Canada, and it follows the Continental Divide Trail and ends in a place called Antelope Wells, New Mexico, which is on the USA-Mexico border. As I said, the distance is 4,300 kilometers, and it starts in the high mountains in the snow, and then from snow to rain and mud, and then from rain and mud to desert. So it's a really trying and a difficult course, and something which I've always wanted to do, but I never thought I would have a chance to take part in. But last month I was talking to a friend about it, and I was saying, yeah, it's really, really hard. It takes almost a month. The weather's crazy. It's physically challenging and all that. And I said, kind of jokingly, would you like to go along with me? And he simply said, sure, no problem. And you know, it's really nice to have friends like that, you know, when you invite them on something so extreme and probably so stupid, but they just go ahead along with it and say, yeah, no problem. So and it's very nice to be able to have his company, because if he weren't going, I probably couldn't go. Now the difficulty is talking my wife into my taking part in an event like that. But since I am going with my friend, and she seems to trust his judgment a little better than she trusts mine, figures, well, if he's going, it must be okay for me to go. So I have to thank my friend for I guess his help in allowing me to take part in this big event. So of course, this ride is a hugely difficult endurance event, and it covers some ridiculous terrain. Most of it is off-road with a few paved pieces mixed in, mainly just to get you from one off-road area to the next. Yeah, there's a lot of climbing involved, a lot of variations in terrain, weather, everything else. So it's a course which is kind of designed to push man and machine, or woman and machine, to their limits. And it's something I'm really looking forward to. And of course, I needed a new bike to take part in this event because I don't really have anything suitable. The bike has to be light, it has to be capable of being ridden off-road in extreme conditions, it has to be able to carry everything you need for a self-supported tour of that distance. And when it came to choosing a bike, I had two options. I could either go with a cross-country mountain bike or a gravel bike. Unfortunately, this isn't the 1990s or early 2000s when mountain bikes were very easy to come by and there were lots of options available. Today in 2024, mountain biking isn't as popular as it once was. And though I really wanted to get a mountain bike, the few which I found here available in Japan were not in my size. Being a foreigner in Japan can be kind of difficult because everything here is smaller, especially bikes. But as it happens, gravel bikes are very popular. They're kind of the new mountain bike. And so I was able to find a large variety of gravel bikes in my size. And after comparing the different models and the specifications and designs and all that, I settled on the GT grade carbon. First, I like the appearance. I love the design. I think it's a really good looking bike. And the design of this bike, I think, would be pretty good for the Tour Divide, though some people might disagree with that. What I like about this bike mainly is GT's triple triangle rear design. And what I mean by that is there are 3 triangles. And what this is kind of an old design thing which GT used to set itself apart from other manufacturers back in the days when they made BMX bikes. In the case of the grade carbon or grade alloy bikes, these seat stays, these 2 tubes on either side which go from the frame to the rear axle, these are not connected to the seat tube, and what they do is they allow for the rear end to flex a little bit, and GT says this gives you about 30 millimeters of travel in the rear. And as I've ridden this bike, I find their claim to be true. This bike really soaks up the bumps on the backside. The carbon fork, of course, doesn't soak up anything, but I plan to upgrade this fork to a RockShox Rudy Explorer fork, which has a suspension on it, about 40 millimeters of travel. So I should be able to get this bike to absorb the worst of the knocks and shocks on the Tour Divide route. The rest of the components on this bike are just entry-level, low-end crap, which I will throw away and replace with higher-end parts. And I've already started with the crankset. I got rid of the 2x GRX 400 crankset, and I installed this really nice XTR 9100, which is lighter and stronger and much better looking, and gives me better options for smaller gears on the front. The GRX, you don't have as much options when it comes to gearing. And I also installed these beautiful XTR 9120 pedals. And I really love these pedals because they have a large platform, like a flat pedal. So if I happen to pull out the cleat or otherwise damage my shoe, I can still pedal the bike fairly easily. And I love how these pedals engage and disengage. It's very easy for them to grab on or release the pedal, but when they are grabbed on, they lock on pretty tightly. I've never been able to pull my feet out of one of these pedals, but just a simple twist the side and they come right out very easily. The wheels on this bike are heavy junk, so those will be the next thing to go. I've got a set of Shimano 9100 hubs, which are lighter and stronger and have better seals against the mud and elements. So I just have to order the spokes and wheels, and I'll build the wheels myself. It's not that difficult, or at least I hope. I've done it a couple of times before, so if I have any problems, I'll take them down to Blue Lug, which is pretty close to here, and I'll have them adjust them or build them if they give me a good quote. The rear drive line, this is a GRX 400 10-speed derailleur. I threw away the 10-speed steel cassette and I put on this old XTR 10-speed cassette, which I had hanging around in my closet. It weighs half as much, and already I've been able to shave a fair amount of weight off this bike. By replacing the wheels and other parts, I should be able to get this thing down to about 19 kilograms. Now 19 kilograms from 20, that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're carrying 1 kilogram over 4,300 kilometers, that requires a lot of calories. And one of the problems with the Tour Divide is being able to eat enough to keep your body going, and so the less I have to carry, the better off I'll be. Another reason I got this bike is it has fittings here on the top tube, the down tube, the seat tube, the bottom of the down tube, where I can attach accessories and all the things I need. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to attach a seat pack on the back here, and this will hold a bunch of junk. I'll install a frame bag here. I've got the frame bag and the seat pack already. A handlebar bag will go here, and between these things and the other mounts, I should be able to carry all the things I need for a 4,300 kilometer self-supported cycling adventure. And basically you have to carry everything you need, such as a sleeping bag, tent, air mattress, air pillow, clothing, food, water, all that kind of stuff. So it's important that a bike be able to carry all the stuff you need for that ride. Another thing which arrived yesterday is the new bar and stem. I ordered Data Super Zero Carbon Gravel Bar, and it's a work of art. I can't wait to put that on. And I've also got a Thompson Elite X4 stem. I got a short stem because I want to run an aero bar. Aero bar will give me a place to rest my hands when the ride gets really long. My hands get a little bit tired after a 6 or 7 hour ride, which is about what I usually ride on a Saturday or Sunday. But in the Tour Divide, it'll be at least 10 hours per day, and that's going to be really tough on the hands. My hands are the only things which give me a trouble on long bike rides. The rest of my body tends to do quite well. So yeah, the aero bar is kind of a necessity. I've got the new set of shifters on the way, shift levers, brake levers. And these are the Shimano GRX 820 12 speeds. I'll be getting rid of these cheapy levers. I've got the 10-51 cassette for the back and the GRX 822 derailleur for the back. So that'll give me this, I have a 36 tooth here on the front and the 10-51 on the back. That should give me all the gearing I need for even the steep climbs. The seat post, I don't know, I may just leave that. Maybe I should leave it at least one part of the bike original. And of course I've already put in on my wonderful Brooks saddle here. In previous videos I've talked about Brooks saddles, and I always mention the saddle because it's one of the things which makes cycling more of a pleasure. Now this saddle here, you can see it's kind of old and worn out. It was brand new 8 years ago when I bought it. And this is so comfortable right now. I could ride this bike easily 100 miles and have no numbness or no soreness, and that's even if I'm wearing jeans or ordinary shorts. I don't like to wear cycling shorts anymore. And with a broken-in Brooks saddle, I can just wear whatever I feel like wearing. I can't recommend a Brooks enough. But anyway, that's it for the video about my new GT grade carbon. I do have another video in the works right now, which I should have ready by next week, and that's going to be my tour of Tokyo video. In that video, I'm going to be starting here in the Roppongi area and riding out to Harajuku and Takeshita Street. And from there, I'll be going around Yoyogi Park and down to Shibuya, where I plan to ride through the famous Shibuya crossing. And from there, I'll be riding out towards Shiba to the Tokyo Tower and Zozoji Temple. And then from there, I'll be heading through Ginza to the Tsukiji Fish Market, and then through Tsukuda along the Sumida River, which is probably the most beautiful area in Tokyo for skylines. And then from there I should head out toward Asakusa and the Sensoji Temple, which was built back in the 9th century. So it's been, yeah, not 19th, but 9th century, a long time ago. And then from there I'll be pedaling my way back through Nihonbashi and through Otemachi, which is going to be the home of Japan's tallest building in a couple of years when it's finished. And then I'll be riding through the Imperial Palace, through the Sakura Gate, and on my way back home. So this ride should allow you to see all the most interesting parts of Tokyo. And if you'd like to see that, please subscribe or come back. It'll obviously be a very long video because it's going to be quite a long day to catch all that stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you tune in again soon.